Unite beyond boundaries. Innovate together. Joe's PANKRATION 2024. No border.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you are joining in. Thank you for taking the time, and thank you for the organizers for putting this across such an amazing event for all of us from across the globe. So I think this is a brilliant way for all the community to come together. And I hope in the next 15 minutes, I am able to help to go through and add value and to spend the time with me and with the entire community. So I am Kaushik Mohanraj. I am an AWS community hero and also an AWS user group leader of Malaysia user group that we run. And I am based out of Malaysia, as you would know. And and I'm happy to represent that in Malaysia for the last 8 years. And I think just with a quick introduction, I'm Kaushik. I lead director as a director of sales for across Southeast Asia for BlazeClan Technologies, which is a premier consulting partner. I'm recognized as a AWS hero, ambassador, and a user group lead. Hold about 10 plus AWS certifications and a well-architected reviewer. The reason I call out that I'm a well-architected reviewer is for today's topic. Today's topic is all about talking about the well-architected framework and what is well-architected review framework, or WAF as they call it, walking through what the pillars are, and then talking about the design principles of each. I have given talks which is 2 hours each for these kind of pillars and sessions for this. That's how huge this topic is. But today, I'm going to try and give you a crash course in the next 15 minutes to go through this. All right. So to start with, let's start saying what is the well-architected framework. So the well-architected framework has been developed to specifically, and I quote this from the website of AWS well-architected framework, right? So this one has been developed to help and guide cloud architects like you and me to build a secure, high-performing, resilient, and efficient infrastructure for any application that we are going to host on a cloud environment, right? This is something that you can use even in the way you develop across any platform that you use, right? So it's a very generic idea. The inception of the well-architected framework happened back in 2012 by AWS folks themselves, right? What they did was they worked with so many customers since 2006. They knew what the problems are. They said, okay, let's build a framework and share it with our customers and partners so that they can work around it and build a well-architected architecture. And they gave us three basic things. They gave us pillars, right? So they gave us pillars, so there are six. Then they gave, in under each of the pillars, they gave design principles, which we'll skim through today. There's a lot to discuss in each of these design principles, but I'll give you an overview of what those design principles are. And finally, they gave us questions. Now the number of questions is increasing as we progress with the number of services and everything that is happening in our day-to-day life as we use AWS, right? So this questions is what builds what now is known as the well-architected tool or framework tool, which is available on your AWS console. The way you use AWS console and search for EC2 S3 as a service, just search for well-architected tool and you'll be able to see a service there, call that, and just start a review under it. And then you will be able to see all of these questions under all of these pillars that we'll talk about, right? And apart from that, they are also building custom lenses. So, if you have an SAP workload, they have an SAP lens. So you have serverless, they have a serverless lens, and so on and so forth. Very specific to niche of what you would adopt on AWS, right? So this is one thing. So now the question is, why do you want to apply well-architected framework, right? So the overall idea is to learn and adopt AWS best practices, make data-based decisions so that you are well informed. You know what you're going to do. You're not doing just because it is the right thing to do and so on and so forth, right? Then is to mitigate risk so that you can mitigate risk. And last but not the least, build and deploy faster. You need to ensure that you are adopting cloud the right way and moving fast. There's a very old saying in the AWS community, right? Fail fast, fail cheap. That means with cloud, you're able to do it quicker and able to do it cheaper to reach your end goal. And that's what where the well-architected framework helps you with, right? So far, hope you're with me. And now, there are these 5 pillars that I spoke about, but you might correct me. No, there is a sixth one. Yes, back in 21, the sixth pillar was also introduced, which is called the sustainability pillar, right? So for the longest time, there were 5 pillars, which is operational excellence, security, reliability, performance efficiency, and cost optimization, which sets the basis for any good architecture that we would build. But back in 2011, Werner Vogels and others, when during their keynote, they announced the sixth pillar called the sustainability pillar. And I think you would agree with me that is something that we all need in today's age and world, right? So let's start with the 6 pillars. I'm going to give you a quick breeze through all of this and, get your consensus so that we're all aligned in the next 8 minutes that we have. Have you heard about the shared responsibility model? If not, here is a quick refresher that, this is where everything below that you see in orange, that is what AWS is responsible for when it comes to security. Security is a day zero activity, right? For you and for AWS. So you have to understand anything that you put in the cloud or using AWS services, it is your responsibility to make it secure, right? So now, as a customer using it, you have to ensure you have taken care of security across. Let's talk about that on the design principles. Key things, you need to implement strong identity foundation, right? Ensure you're separating the duties. Database users have get access only to database services. Ensure they have least privilege access so that even if they get compromised, they don't, the blast radius is reduced. Centralize and automate how much ever you can in providing these identity foundation that is there. Second is enable traceability. Monitor and alerting system can be set up using various AWS native tools that are available, right? And just monitoring and building the logs and collecting them in a landing zone security account will not help. Beyond that, you have to audit those actions and make changes basis that to ensure that you're making your environment secure day by day, right? You need to apply the third design principle is apply security at all layers, defense, in-depth approach. Make sure that, all 7 layers that are applicable, you are there applying security at an application level, network layer, every other possible layer, ensuring there is security, right? And automate whatever is there, templatize whatever you can, make CloudFormation scripts, Terraform scripts, and put that through. Ensure it is not human driven, like you and me can miss out sometimes. So templatize it. And the last three design principles that is under security is protect data in transit and at rest, keep people away from data. As I said, we are all humans. We are prone to make mistakes. Make sure we are away from it. And that's a security design. That would mean that ensuring no access to environments, providing, automating whatever can be done, and so on and so forth. And with all the preparation, you can still have security events, breaches, and so on and so forth. So prepare for that, have SOP, and build your design accordingly, right? So what are the best practices and enablers that we spoke about? Identity and access management. And what are the enablers that AWS has? We have IAM and STS that is available. For detective controls, use CloudWatch, AWS Config, CloudTrail. And infrastructure protection, you can use your VPCs and security groups effectively and build golden AMIs that are secure enough so that it's automated. And data protection, use encryption, security groups again, certificate manager for data in transit, and incident response. Again, you can use services like CloudWatch, Formation, and even Bridge so that it can be automated, right? So in summary, security is a day zero activity. It's also an ongoing activity so that you have to continue to audit and monitor, be aware of the shared responsibility model, templatize and automate, and prepare for the worst case scenario. Hope that clarifies. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going a little bit fast so that we can cover all the 6 pillars, and hope you're with me and I'm not too fast for you, right? Now, under the reliability, ensuring that your environment is reliable to host your application, right? You need to ensure that, you are aware of the 5 design principles under them. So the first one is scale horizontally to increase the system availability. Go micro as much as possible, break that down so that you remove single point of failure, and then scale them horizontally, either auto scaling or using lambdas, concurrent executions, and so on and so forth. Then stop guessing capacity. You may be wrong at times with the based on capacity study that you would do for an on-prem system, but stop guessing capacity, use automation that is available, manage changes in automation as we spoke, use CloudFormation templates, and so on and so forth. And all the DR setup that you have, ensure you're testing those procedures, testing people's knowledge, testing the technology, and all of that. And finally, automatically recover from failure so that it can be done in a non-human intervention way to ensure it is reliable. Your downtime is as low as possible, right? So these are the 5 design principles that are there. So what are the enablers? Again, here, ensure from a foundation standpoint, you have set AWS service limits as required. You would have all the scalability, but let's say if number of IPs that are limited in your account, you're in trouble. Number of EC2s are limited, and the soft limit, if you have not increased, that you're in trouble again, right? So that's where, you have AWS service limits, trusted advisor, VPCs, and subnets to work on. Change management, you can use config, CloudWatch, and CloudTrail again. Failure management, you can use all of these services, and so on and so forth. Ensure you're using managed services that is available like RDS, Fargate, and others that helps elevates the problem of managing the infrastructure, and they manage it for you. When I say they, is the cloud provider in AWS, right? So in summary, focus on a very strong foundation, make sure that you're there, go micro and not monolith, reduce the blast radius as much as possible, right? And use managed services, as I said, and always plan for failure, because whatever you do, there might be things that can fail. So prepare for that, right? Now let's move on to our third operational efficiency pillar, which is around perform operation with code, your workload as a code, event-driven, make frequent, small, reversible changes, small incremental changes, and automate them. The third one is revisit operations, procedures periodically, evolve procedures. As and when you learn about things that are happening, adopt your processes, have periodical game days so that your team is aware of it. Always know working in a environment is
1 minute left.
not just technology, is just that. Then we have learned from operational failures and anticipate things. So, prepare, operate, and evolve using these services. And in summary, operational excellence, this is where you need to learn and understand from all stakeholders and have a efficient business outcome so that it's all data driven, right? Going to the fourth pillar is performance efficiency, where you ensure you are using advanced technologies, adopt serverless architecture as much as possible, right? Go global, because use the regions that are available, which you can't do on-prem. Go global, reach and deploy to customers who are near your customer using different regions. Experiment more, as I said, fail fast, fail cheap, and ensure that, your mechanical empathy where it is systems. So you need to be aware of that. You're right. So it is upon how you select the services, review all of these things, keep in touch with the latest updates, and continue to monitor whatever is being done, right? In summary, make informed decisions, periodical reviews, architect to be loosely coupled, and measure and review performances. So that's one. Now going to the fifth pillar is cost optimization. Everyone wants to do it in a
Sorry, time is over. So please find a brief summary in
okay.
30 seconds.
Sure. So in summary, I think, I would just do that. We have the cost optimization pillar. Ensure that you are doing it in a cost optimized way and start small, right size, and go ahead. And under the sustainability, again, the other idea is that, it is a shared responsibility that you write optimized scores so that it's, sustainable. And there are various design principles which I would go help you review it. I'll share the resources here. Go read them. Just in interest of time, giving a quick summary. Right. Do a well-architected review here. WAR means well-architected review. Ensure that you keep doing well-architected reviews to have a good view of your environment, and you use cloud in an optimized way. So thank you. Thank you for your time, and thank you, the organizing team, again for providing this environment. With that, I would like to take any questions, if any, and then take that further.